Yo, what's going on YouTube? It is your boy GZTV. I hope you guys can hear me. Yes, you can. We're talking about the Friday, February 2nd games. This is going to be the last day of the week. We talk about games for the weekend because we have other content planned. We have like Sopranos stuff to watch. I watched an episode of The Sopranos today that we're going to be reviewing on the channel tomorrow, and obviously there's going to be another 2K gameplay on the new Kristaps Porzingis tomorrow. Exciting stuff. I'm also watching Whiplash this weekend, like completing it for the first time because I never got to it, so that'll be Sunday's video. But yeah, getting into it, we have about 4 games that I want to talk about. Again, I only talk about close games, so let's start with the Heat and Wizards. Chippy, I know you love the the Heat, and they got the dub tonight. And by the way, shout out to you guys for your support on the My Team videos. You guys have been going absolutely crazy. I getting like 5 subs today, which is quite a lot for me, honestly. But Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo helped the Heat beat the Wizards by 8. It was a close game. It's a little concerning that was a close game. But yeah, obviously great scoring from Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo. They've been a good duo in the Heat for the last 3 or 4 years. Great rebounding as well from Bam Adebayo. Such a consistent player. Definitely deserved the All-Star nod. People are saying that Jimmy Butler got snubbed. I don't think he did, honestly, but huge third quarter for the Heat in this game. I didn't watch too much basketball tonight. I was watching Los Poyos' stream. Shout out to him. Recording gameplays, doing homework, doing stuff like that. But yeah, they won. Bam Adebayo hit some tough shots. Jordan Poole, just so many miscues, so many mishaps for them this year. He's almost like a meme. Tyler Hero hit some threes. Jimmy Butler hit some big shots. I mean, Denny Avdia was playing pretty solid, I guess, for the Wizards. But yeah, 24 points for Jimmy Butler, made his only 3, shot 70%, 20 and 14 for Bam Adebayo, 13 and 10 off the bench for Kevin Love. Shout out to him, shooting 67% from 3, 80% overall. So those 3 played fantastic basketball for this team. Moving on to the Wizards, Daniel Gafford put up an 11 and 14 stat line where he shot 50%. You get 16 and 10 out of Jordan Poole. Obviously not a great shooting performance, but I mean, still, he played pretty solid. Corey Kispert put up 26. They just don't have good guards. They're not very deep at that position. I mean, I don't know. Like, if they want to build around guys like Kuzma and Poole, they need to get a better complementary guard than Tyus Jones for Jordan Poole. I firmly believe that. And obviously, we don't talk about the Wizards much because they're usually getting their ass beat on a nightly basis. But yeah, if there's one thing I would change, I'd say get a better starting guard than Tyus Jones. I don't think Jordan Poole is necessarily as bad as people make him out to be, but yeah. Moving on to the Suns and the Hawks. The Hawks pulled out a game here. This is a really good win for them, and Trae Young was snubbed, obviously. That was like huge controversy. I didn't really address like the whole all-star snubbing thing. I don't really care for that. Like, I made my list, and it's my list, so I don't care. But Trae Young posts 32 points and 15 assists as the Hawks beat the Suns by 9. Great scoring, great passing for Trae Young. 2 things he does really well in this league, and 2 things that he's at the top, damn near upper echelon of the league and scoring while being able to pass. Like a dual threat offensive player, you know, the playmaking and the scoring is just there for him. And somehow people don't think he should have made the All-Star game. I don't really understand. But yeah, Hawks beat the Suns. Trae was playing really good defense as well, making big defensive plays, turning it into offense. Bradley Beal was hitting some tough shots for the Suns. Good job by DeJounte Murray. I mean, people were kind of skeptical about him going to the Hawks, but I don't think it's a bad acquisition for them. Obviously, he's on like the trade block at the moment, but he's great offensively. Trae Young hit a crazy shot that didn't count. Jalen Johnson this year has been playing tough. He's been playing aggressive. Gotta love that. It was all Hawks tonight. There's not much to say about the Suns. I mean, obviously, KD went out, put up 35. You get 14 and 10 from Bradley Beal. You get 24 from Devin Booker while shooting 50%. I would say Josh Okogie just doesn't do much for this team, and I've heard Suns fans kind of complain about this. You can't be perfect, though. Like, their bench isn't deep at all. Like, Eric Gordon, Josh Okogie, Keita Bates-Diop, and Drew Eubanks, they can't consistently be good players, but I don't know. It is what it is, honestly. Like, maybe Keita Bates-Diop needs to play more than Josh Okogie. Stuff like that, I guess. Looking at the Hawks, Clint Capella put up 11 and 10. He shot 50%. You get 32 and 15 out of Trae Young. A amazing game, especially efficiency-wise. You get 22 out of DeJounte Murray. You get 23 off the bench from Bogdanovich, shooting 67%. Yeah, this team was on one tonight. Those 4 players played really well, and they have potential to play well damn near every night. But the reason why the Hawks are 6 games under 500 is because that's not the case. So I'm rooting for the Hawks. I really like the Hawks. Like, they have some really dope players. Trae Young is probably one of my favorite point guards in the NBA. But yeah. Moving on to the Magic and the Timberwolves, this was really like the heavyweight match of the day. 2 really good teams that have honestly impressed the NBA world over the last, obviously, like 45 to 50 games of the season, like the whole season. But Paolo Banchero's 23 points lead the Magic in a comeback. They were down by 17, and they were able to beat the Timberwolves by 2. Obviously, a collapse by the Timberwolves, but they're 19 games over 500. Yeah, obviously huge scoring for Paolo Banchero. Also, facilitating. I've seen a couple podcasts with him recently, and I've started to gain a lot of respect for Paolo Banchero. And, I included him on my All-Star list, and I'm not taking back my All-Star list. There are some pretty hot takes on that, but yeah, Orlando Magic, huge deficit, down 17 in the second quarter. They end up outscoring them by 19 for the rest of the game, which is huge. Markelle Fultz was getting up and dunking it. This was actually a really good game. I watched a little bit of it. Anthony Edwards, pretty nice offense. He was hitting some shots. Rudy Gobert, obviously playing great defense for the Timberwolves, but it wasn't enough because, 23 points out of Paolo Banchero, made his only 3, shot 50%. You get 18 and 12 out of Wendell Carter, shooting 33% from 3, 50% overall. So those 2 really spearheaded their efforts in the comeback win. Obviously, just all sorts of teamwork there. Rudy Gobert played amazing, 22 in 16. I don't think he made the All-Star. He makes my All-Star team, though. I think he's fantastic. Anthony Edwards put up 22. He shot 50%. One thing I gotta say about the Timberwolves is why the hell is Mike... I understand Mike Conley's a veteran presence, but why at the age of 36 is this man playing 28 minutes? I think that's absurd. I think guys like Jordan McLaughlin need to play more minutes. I just don't understand that. Again, he's a veteran. He's out there. He's a leader. But how are you going to play 28 minutes, shoot 1 for 9, plus minus a negative 13, which is the worst on the team, and he played the least amount of starter minutes. So it's I question their decisions there. I think they should maybe try starting Jordan McLaughlin a couple games and see what happens, because he is super duper efficient. Yeah, the Heat won. Yeah. Moving on to the last game I'm going to talk about is Pelicans and Spurs. And as you see in the thumbnail, as you see in the title, this was pretty much the main event of the night, the big matchup of the night. Yeah, Zion Williamson caps a 33-point outing with the winning layup. The Pelicans overcome the Spurs. They won by 1. Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't quite paying attention to this game. Maybe I'll have to rewatch the highlights to see how it ended, because that was super interesting. But it was a good game. I saw the replay, kind of Zion hitting that layup. But yeah, it was really weird. It was bizarre. I feel like the Spurs definitely should have won the game, obviously. But Zion Williamson, huge scoring night. I don't know. Victor Wembanyama letting a guy, 8 or 9 inches shorter than him make that shot was kind of wild. Yeah, it was a tough shot, though. Zion is one of the best at-the-rim finishers in the NBA. But shout out to Zion. Did what was necessary. I don't know. It's weird. But huge game for Zion, obviously. Devin Vassell missed the game-winning 3. I guess. I don't know. Devin Vassell is very young. He's still a developing player. He hasn't really learned a lot, and doesn't really have that clutch winning gene in him quite yet. Still under 25. There, as are a lot of guys on this basketball team. But yeah, Zion Williamson put up 33. He played incredible. 21 for CJ McCollum. Shot about 30% from 3. Not great, but those 2 were enough to get the dub. Moving on to the Spurs. I mean, the Spurs didn't play terrible. Jeremy Sohan put up 15 and 16, shot 50%. Wemby put up 16 and 14, shot 50%, and that's crazy. To go against a guy like Jonas Valanciunas and be able to rebound like that, that is quite impressive. It's hard to out-rebound a team with Zion and Jonas Valanciunas on it, so they did well in that department. And obviously, Trey Jones put up 20. You get 28 from Devin Vassell, shooting 50% from three. I had him as like my most improved player last year. I still think he can be better. He's not even in his prime yet. He's going to be quite the basketball player. I don't know. I mean, their starting lineup has some holes in it, though. Champagnie, I don't even know about that. I feel like they could go back to Zach Collins starting and maybe throwing Jeremy Sohan at the 3. Or they could start a guy like Doug McDermott and have a catch and shooter. Or, honestly, those are their options. Guys like Zach Collins and Doug McDermott. But, yeah, it is what it is. I don't really like Champagnie being a starter for them. I feel like he's kind of young, isn't he? I feel like he needs time to kind of develop a little bit. How old is Champagnie? Yeah, 22. Obviously, this is a young team, so they need to have some sort of veteran in the starting lineup. But looking ahead to tomorrow, I'm not going to recap these games, obviously, but Lakers, Knicks, and Bucks and Mavs are 2 games that are going to be pretty fire. I'm looking forward to it. I don't know if LeBron and AD are playing in this game. Game time decisions for LeBron and AD. I hope at least one of them plays so it could be a decent game, but there's that whole controversy with LeBron, and people are lying about him getting traded, and his agent came out and exposed the internet for it. That's for another day, though. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. As always, it has been GZTV, covering basketball every weeknight. It is Friday, so obviously no Saturday, Sunday videos. I'm leaving that for the Soprano reviews.